Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope that you all are doing well and that you are um, having a good beginning of your October. I wanted to talk a little bit about music because I know that a lot of people are still dealing with a lot of depression, especially concerning being inside a lot more and COVID, social, global pandemic, social unrest, all of these things can contribute to our emotional and mental states. And so, music is actually a really amazing healer on all different levels. Okay. So, looking at it from an emotional standpoint, right? We like to listen to the music that we like. Maybe playing music that just makes you happier or it makes you calmer or whatever it is. That is an emotional balancing out of, just whatever it is that you're dealing with. Now, they've actually done a lot of studies about music therapy and how music can actually alter your brain waves and it can alter your mood, positive, hopefully for the positive. It can combat depression. It improves your blood flow, lowers your levels of stress related hormones, and improves the outcomes of invasive surgeries. The Harvard School of Law has actually done a lot of studies about invasive surgeries and people they play music during the surgeries as well as after the surgeries, and the people that had the music playing during and after, especially, healed much faster and actually healed, as opposed to people that did not have music playing. And so it also helps to restore speech. If anybody has had any type of strokes or any other issues related with their speech, music can actually help restore your speech. And it helps, it aids with pain relief and reduces side effects of cancer therapy. So that's another thing that Harvard School of Law has done a lot of research on is cancer therapy and researching people that listen to music while they're having their chemotherapy sessions or whatever it may be that they are doing their cancer therapy sessions, that if they're listening to music during and after, then they actually healed faster and had a higher success rate of healing than those that did not listen to music. Music also helps with dementia patients, and I know that this is a huge struggle for all of us that have people in our lives that may have dementia or Alzheimer's, and they have found that playing the music of the people that have dementia that they listened to when they were younger actually helps them to have a better life, quality of life. It doesn't necessarily help them with their memories per se, but it keeps them in a much calmer space than if they did not have music playing. So all of those things is the physical, right, as well as the emotional and mental. Those are three different aspects of ourselves that can actually be healed, and or just improving the healing or quickening the healing with music. And it really depends on what kind of music you like to listen to, quite honestly. I don't, if you research it, some people are like, oh, well, you have to listen to classical music or you have to listen to this or whatever. And they have done a lot of research on even just babies that listen to classical music in the womb, and then after when they were still little babies, that it actually those babies had increased mental functionings than those babies that did not. So there's many different things that you can do with music to help you in a better mood. So if you're really feeling like you're in a funk, just putting on some music that you actually really enjoy, trying to avoid really sad music if you're dealing with depression. I think that, anything that's just calming or, lively, maybe it really just depends on what kind of music you like to listen to. Okay. But playing music when you are feeling depressed and anxious. So calming music is going to help you if you're dealing with anxiety, because depression and anxiety go hand in hand. And that's something that I've talked about before in some of my videos. In fact, I think it was one of the very first videos that I created that I talked about the depression and anxiety links and some crystals. So if you have not watched that, my very first video that I created, I talk about those things. So you can watch that. Now, another aspect of music that I wanted to talk about was actually spiritual healing. So we've talked about the physical, mental, and emotional healing, those different aspects, but there's even a way to help heal your spirit. So this is working with your chakras. So if you're needing to know more about chakras, you can always just Google it. But basically, there's different schools of thought of how many chakras there are. But the majority argue that there are 7 different sacred places within our bodies, starting with the crown, and then the third eye, and then our third eye, and then our voice, our vocal cords, speaking our truth, our heart, the solar plexus, sacral, and then the root chakras. There are actually different tones or frequencies that are have been known to help heal those different chakras, and they are called solfeggio frequencies. Okay. These are ancient tones that, and they're different tones. Okay. So each one is going to be a different tone. But they each are specific for if you're really needing to work more on your crown chakra, opening up your crown chakra to receive messages from your guides, or maybe you need to work more on your heart chakra, that maybe you have been dealing with a lot of breakups and sadness and relationship issues, or maybe you're having some, just solar plexus if you're needing courage, whatever it is. You can find on, you can even just look on YouTube. YouTube has a lot of different channels that are specifically for different frequencies and healing tones. And if you just type in solfeggio frequencies or chakra frequencies into, YouTube, you're going to find, and there's going to be, and some of them are like 6 to 9 hours long. So if you're just needing some background music and you know what it is that you're needing to work on your own, so say you're needing to work on your heart chakra or your throat chakra or whatever it is, finding a YouTube video that is specifically this solfeggio frequencies, so that way you can, even subconsciously, that having those frequencies, those tones just going on in the background, I think would help you, help all of us with our spiritual healing. So music is actually a really amazing thing that we've been it's experiencing since the beginning of humankind, right? Just the different noises and tones and singing, and there's many different types of music, obviously. And also if you actually play an instrument or you sing, or do some type of musical, whatever, do that, because that is also part of your own healing process. That there's a lot of people that have written about their journey with music therapy and how they used to be very musical, and then they had all kinds of responsibilities, and they saw that was actually just something to do on the side, that they didn't have time for. Okay. When they started bringing their music that they performed, whether it's in front of anybody or not, that does not matter. Okay. It's just the actions, and it's you, expressing yourself. That is just something else that you can do to try to help, especially if you're dealing with any type of depression or anxiety right now. So, I hope that this is helpful for you. As I said, going into YouTube, there's a couple different channels that I actually really like. There's Meditative Minds, and I can't remember any other, but if you just are wondering, you could always just message me and ask me about any other channels that I listen to. But they have videos that are the specific chakra tones, so that way you can have those playing. But just even if you're going in for any type of surgery, or if you are going through any type of illness, or if you're if you have an injury, just see how music might actually help you, even if it's just to help distract you from whatever it is that you are going through right now, right? But ultimately, the tones and the vibrations are actually healing us on a molecular level as well. So it's not just tricking our brains. Okay, that's why, and this is not pseudoscience at this point, right? This is actual scientific evidence that many different science schools and medical schools have actually done these different studies. So it's not just something that, foo-foo people talk about or anything. Music therapy, check it out, look into it. But most importantly, just make sure to play any of the music that you actually enjoy. And that, I think, will really alter your mood, and it can actually help you through any difficult times. Okay. So I think that was it as far as what I was going to talk about with the chakras and the ancient tones. I do have, I think, maybe an hour and a half left on Saturday, and I have some times next week. I will be closed on Samhain. So I'm just letting you know that now. A few different people have tried scheduling with me on that day, and I'm just not going in on that Saturday. But I do have other times during that week, so we can schedule things. So I hope you all have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you all next Wednesday. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.